Hey there, Jed Coburnus here from jedcoburnus.com, and this is Talk Therapy. Here it is, Talk Therapy. Love it, where the first 10 minutes is me versus my ego, the second 10 minutes is me with my ego, and the third 10 minutes is literally just me. That's kind of what happens whenever I go or anything where I just stop talking for just a split second. I know that that's my ego, and this is where I practice talking out loud and just being myself. And some days I have nothing to talk about and I just hit record and I just go and go and go, and some days I have stuff to talk about. And today I do have something to talk about, and we'll see how long I can talk about it before my ego or before my mind wants me to just switch gears or whatever. See right there, that's my ego. That's my inner thought, my inner voice going, no, don't say anything dumb. Don't do that. Don't say that. Right? And I think we all have it. It's just the level of awareness that we have to block that out, to ignore that voice, to be ourselves without worrying about what is said, without worrying about exactly what we want to say or what we should have said or whatever. So today, right there, I see that. Today I want to talk about friendship. Okay, I want to talk about friendship and what does that mean and what does that look like, and who do you spend time with? Who do I spend time with? And I say spend time with because you spend your time. If you pay attention, right? If you pay attention to people, if you pay attention to friends, family, whatever, right? It comes down to paying attention, and if attention equals time and time equals money, then you really have to be very aware of where your attention is spent. And you spend time, you pay attention to the people that you choose to pay attention to. So that's why, I think I'm talking about friendship here, and that's what I'm talking about. I really want to talk about and feel out friendship, whether that's a friend from the internet, a friend, not from the, I don't know, the internet is not something that it used to be 10 years ago even. If you had a friend on the internet, that was a creep 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if you had a friend on the internet, that was considered a creep, right? Today, you can have some actually very close connections with a person that you met online, right? And I get that. And you meet them in person, and then you continue to talk via the phone, right? Via telephone, cell phone, whatever, right? Telephone, that's pretty funny. Who uses telephone? Hey, call me on the telephone. Call me on the phone, or call me on, really, there's anything. Skype, you can do Google Hangout, you can do, anything, right? And there was my ego talking, saying, hey, don't say the wrong thing, but, so friendship, and that's what I'm talking, like, what kind of friendship do I want? What kind of friendship am I looking for? And what kind of relationship with anybody? See, look at that, right? What kind of relationship am I looking for? What kind of friendship am I looking for? What kind of partnership? Like my wife and I, obviously, she's the closest person that I know, and I tell her everything. Like, I'm really starting to even open up to her a lot more because of this talk therapy and because of what I'm doing on personal development and increasing my self-worth and talking things out and really, really, really understanding who I am and what I'm all about and what my purpose is in life. And it's just funny that, we married 8 years in August, and we're just starting to get into an awesome groove of knowing what to do and how to talk and how to be. But friendship itself, relationships themselves, maybe that's what it is relationships. I don't know. I'm not a relationship expert, right? Don't take that, and that's what I am. But so talking about what that means or whatever, right, I just think that for myself, I just keep talking and talking and talking about what I want, and then it just kind of comes true, right? So what I've noticed is that the people that I'm paying my attention to lately are one of my closest friends. Like, if I'm paying attention to you, I really cherish the time that I have with you. Not that I don't with other people. Right? Now I'm worried about saying the wrong thing. You can hear it, right? And why that's my resistance in my own self, and that's my resistance to whoever would listen to this. And I don't really care who listens to this. This is for me, and this is for anybody who would ever want to listen. And but so for now, I'm just gonna talk, right? Why am I having resistance to what I'm saying? Let's put it this way: if I'm paying attention to you, it means you make me. Yeah, I mean, it means you make me expand and not contract. And what I mean by that is, it means you completely open up all possibilities every time I talk to you without restriction. Like, if there's anything that I've ever said or done, and I continue to talk to people and talk with people, I just continue to go with it, right? But sometimes people make me feel contract, right? People make me feel like they are contracting me, right? Like I close in all my ideas. You can't do this, and what about that? And in not a good way, right? And definitely not in a good way. But my friendship with people, friends that I have, I'm really like narrowing my focus on who I hang with, who I give my attention to, and who is receiving my attention. And I know it seems scary at first to say all of this, and you just heard my resistance to say that, but it is. If I surround myself, not if, but when, because that's what's happening right now, I surround myself only with the people that make me expand and feel good, and they talk my ideas out with me instead of being the devil's advocate of, with the, well, what about this? And I don't think that's going to work. And what is this? And it's like, okay, then I'm really not going to pay attention to you very much. And having the same level of awareness. Like I'm getting way, way, way better at meeting people where they're at. Like, that's kind of how it works, is that's personal development. Like, I love helping people to reach where I'm at, right? But at the end of the day, I have a certain level, I have a skill set that allows me to be where I am. And if people don't take my advice and don't use the tools that I have acquired and I give, and they still come back to me and say this isn't working, or what else can I do, then I'm going to say, then you're not my person, right? Like, then you're not the person that is for me. And that's okay. Like, I know it kind of seems scary to say that, and that's okay. What I don't know, and I love that I don't know, is how this is going to help with my practice, right? My daily practice of helping people. And that's okay. Being more specific with who I want to help will ultimately help the world. Will ultimately help myself. Because a friendship is a two-way street. It's me giving, and it's me receiving. And it's you giving and you receiving. It's actually a four-way street, if you want to think of it that way. It's four ways. I'm going down the road and I'm giving. And at the same time, you're on the other side of the road receiving. And then while that's happening, you're driving down the road and you're giving. And I'm on that opposite side receiving. And if that's not happening, right, with all of those lanes running, then, it's not going to be perfect, and I know that. But really, with all of those things happening, that is the perfect friendship. Like if I have something happen to me and it's very exciting and you're not there yet, that's okay. And being praised for that. Like, yes, that's exciting. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that. And people actually are in my life right now that are excited for me. Truly excited. Not anything else but excited. Not like, oh yeah, great, this benefits me too. No. It's actually finding people and friends that are truly excited for you without any ulterior motive. That is true friendship. And vice versa. My friends, I am excited for them tenfold with all of what's happening in their lives. With no ulterior motive, right? With no ulterior motive. Because that's how it works. That is literally how it works. That is a friendship. That is true friendship. You want better. You want more for them than you want of yourself. But not at your own expense. Not at your own expense. And that but is a huge but, right? That is a big caveat to the entire experience. Is you have to be aware of when you're giving out more than you are receiving. And that level of awareness is a practice skill. That is a skill. And that is really, it's something that you have to learn. It's not something you just have. It's not something you just get. It's a practice skill. And skill sets today, I think for myself, I think I haven't really ever practiced my quote-unquote skill set until about a year ago. And now I'm really flourishing because, man, there's just so much happening. The level of awareness that I have for negativity, positivity, opportunity, all of these fun things are just through the roof. So if there's somebody out there that makes me expand, holy moly, right? I want to keep talking to you. If there's somebody out there who makes me contract, I am probably not going to talk to you. You know, I'm going to entertain the thought of talking to you, and then if you reach out, I'm gonna a little bit, right, talk to you. But for the most part, if you instantly make me feel contracted, then I probably won't talk very much to you. You know? And how do you make a person feel expanded or contracted? Well, it all comes down to how you feel about yourself. Like per se, let's talk about last night. Last night there was a Twins game on. I'm a huge Twins fan, and this is just the level of awareness that I have. The Minnesota Twins have not been that great, for quite a while. But I've always been a fan. Like I will always be a Minnesota Twins fan wherever I live, whatever I do. Same thing with Minnesota Vikings. Like it's just what you do, right? So, but last night I was pretty negative when we were watching the game, and the guys around me at the fire department were, I could tell, right? I mean, you kind of have to have some kind of optimism to be a fan, but you can also be a fan and be negative or whatever. And I was just like, whoa, okay. I can feel why I don't watch the Minnesota Twins very often, anymore, because right now I just don't have a positive feeling about watching the Twins, right? Like, I'm a fan of the Twins because I live in Minnesota, and I'm grateful to have, our state have a professional baseball team. Listen to my ego just kind of step in there for a few minutes here. That's not fun. And you can already tell that there's some resistance on that, and I surround myself with positivity and opportunity and expansion, not contraction. And when I watch the baseball game, it's just like, man, this is actually a contracting activity right now. Like, it's a contraction. And I don't really want to watch the Twins. Not because if you want to call it a fair weather, but regardless of them winning or losing, it's been in my mind for so long that even when they're a winning team, I always am thinking, oh my gosh, when's the bottom going to drop out? And I bet you those players feel that too, right? I bet you those players feel that energy. I'm not a betting man at all, and I would probably put $50 down on it to say, when all of the fans sit here and go, when's the bottom gonna drop out? When are they gonna start losing? When, I bet you they feel that energy. They feel it, and then it's all about energy. They're playing a game, yes, but I bet, right? I bet if you would go through some kind of mind-body experience with them, they would probably turn it around. And that's for any sports team. That's for, anybody in life you really have to be, checked in from the neck up. And that's what I always say. If you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. And that's really what it is. Like, if they were truly with it mentally, and there's so many barriers to it, right? There's so many barriers to it. If you can visualize, if you can meditate, if you can write, whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, do it. But it's a friendship, right? Let's get back. So I was on a tangent of Minnesota Twins. That's funny. That's just my idea to help them win. Now look at me trying to help a professional baseball team with their, Billy Beane did it back in the early 90s. He took, I don't remember his assistant's name, and the assistants never get, much recognition, so maybe I should look up his name. But anyway, he did it back in the 90s, right? When you looked at strike zone and pitch count, and you really started to actually apply some science within the game of baseball. And yes, can you absolutely know that that's true? No, but ever since then, people have been starting to count pitches and look at your strike pattern and your sweet spot and all that fun stuff. But anyway, so friendship, right? Friendship. What do you want in a friendship? What are you looking for in a friendship, and where are you paying your attention to? That's the biggest, I would say that's the biggest thing to really think about. And I have, it may be a little scary sometimes to think that, oh my gosh, what if I don't, talk to this person more? And what if I'm missing out on another relation? Like, if you're living in the what if this and what if that, and you're living in, I don't want to skip out on talking to this person or whatever. If you're living from the place of lack, then you're already in a place of contraction, right? Listen to we're at 18 minutes and I've been in and out of my flow, and that's really funny to me, but that's what it is if you're coming from a place of scarcity, if you're coming from a place of, oh man, I what is this and what is that, and I want to talk to this person, and I want, actually that's what it is. If you're coming from a place of want, if you're in a place of actual want, then what, right? As soon as you're in a place of want, you're in a place of lack. I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, I listen to Kyle Cease, I listen to Diane Hockman and Larry Hockman, and those guys, they already know what they want, and they're acting as if they already have it. That's where I am now. That's where I already am now. And I think this title of what I'm doing is called Less Time, More Energy, the 365-Day Approach. And with that, I don't have it done, but I'm acting like I already have it done, because then I just get it done. Because right now I'm creating, relationships with people that could sponsor it, could fund it, would want to pay for it, right? Would want to pay for the program itself, would want to pay for the book, whatever it is, right? But that's what I'm doing, is you reverse engineer what you want. Because when you already have it, you are unstoppable, because then you find ways to get it, and not get as in like get it, but as if you act as you already have it, and that's called reverse engineering. Like, you reverse what you already have, and then you just practice it and practice it and practice it, and then your mind just takes it in as truth. Now, if you think that is nuts and crazy and woo-woo and all that fun stuff, then you're probably not to the level yet. You're not to that level yet, and that's okay. But for me, I know I'm at that level. There are days where I don't feel like I am, but it doesn't matter. I just kind of go through the motions and practice what that is and what that feels like. But a lot of days, I'm there. Reverse engineer what you already, or what you want, and act as if you already have it. That's a big deal. That is a very big deal to get to a place like that. Like currently, I totally love the fact that I don't know, and I love that I don't know how long it'll take to get, well, not even to get, but to finish my book, my 365-day approach. You know, less time, more energy means you can work out in less time and have more energy. You just got to do it the right way, right? Not necessarily right way, but you got to do it in an efficient way. Efficiency is key, because what do we all want more of? We all want more time. We all want more time. But the fact of the matter is we all have the same amount of time. It just depends what we do with it. That's the big part. That is the biggest part of all of what we're doing in life and the experience of life. So with what you want to work on today, what is that? Well, I'm doing a presentation today on spring cleaning and how to clean out your mind. You know, and the biggest points, the 3 points that I'm talking about today is mindfulness, movement, and gratitude. Those are some pretty 3 key points to a healthy lifestyle, to a happy lifestyle, to a lifestyle that everybody may want, but we just don't know how to get. But I think at the end of the day is reverse engineering. Actually, I know more than the sun comes up tomorrow, reverse engineering is the way to go. Think that you already have it, and it will be true. Now, a lot of this sounds crazy and you know, meditative, whatever it is, but I don't really care. Like, when I talk from my truth, and I feel like I'm there right now, so 22 minutes, I feel, because right now my heart's beating and I'm short of breath, and not real short of breath, but I can just tell, right? Like, right here is my flow, my truth, and that's okay, right? Like, it just takes practice to get here, and this is amazing when I feel like this right here. And I know a lot of times, like Tony Robbins, the dude just lives in this feeling, this area, this is what he does. Like, he's talking from this, he's living from this space 24/7, 365. Like, the dude just has it figured out. And it just takes practice, much practice. So for friendship, if you can find, and you're not going to find it as in like, oh, I'm going to get it, but it just happens, right? Like, if you're having the mindset already that you have friends around you that make you expand, then you're going to attract other people that make you expand, right? Like, how cool would that be to just live in this space that you come from truth, and isn't that just, I mean, it's just crazy cool that kind of stuff happens. So with that, I mean, find that place where you're gonna clean out your mind, right? Spring cleaning. It's so funny that just came up today, that I have that presentation today, or that talk, or whatever. Like, the talk is about spring cleaning and how to clean out your mind. And, you know, it's mindfulness, it's movement, and it's gratitude. And gratitude, man, watch out, right? Like, it's just crazy that that's happening. And what's really funny to me is this presentation, because I put a PowerPoint together, but I don't really I love PowerPoint because I can put a whole bunch of information in there, but at the same time, I don't really want to because I like to interact with people and have them kind of think of some I don't know what to call it, some ideas, topics, stuff that they want to talk about, because that adds another layer of, you know, what they can do for themselves, but also having, you know, resources to talk about, well, what if this and what if that, right? But I think for the most part, there are just things that we do and talk about within that gratifying experience that we can just every day be grateful for. Like having the level of awareness of, you know, gratitude. I think when it comes down to it, being gracious for your friendship, being grateful for your friendship, like thanking a person every time you talk to them, just saying, hey, thank you for the conversation, thank you, not even for conversation, just say thank you. Like, you don't have to be thankful for a certain thing, thank you for X, Y, and Z, because you don't have to. Just be grateful for them, like thank you for being you, and mean that, right? Like, a lot of times when a person says, I'm excited for you, no, they're excited for themselves, because that just means, you know, they're excited for what you can do for them, which is fine. Like, I'm totally like that. I just don't say I'm excited for you. I am excited in that moment with that person, not for them, because if I'm excited for them, then that means I'm going to get something out of the deal. And really, if a person tells me great news, it doesn't matter what is going to happen to me because of them, because that's my fear of what is happening. And I think that's a big realization just right now, that if something big happens to somebody of one of my really close friends, because it's happening, right? We're all doing big things. And I think, like, oh my gosh, okay, if they get too big, are they going to have time for me? Well, of course they're going to have time for me, because I'm in their circle. I'm in their innermost, you know, workings of information. And without that close group of individuals, what are you going to do, right? How is that even going to work? Right, so this, you know, this presentation, this talk that I'm doing today, which is really funny, the funniest part, I would say, is of all the slides, like you have two slides probably of each topic. There's only 10 PowerPoint slides, because I call it death by PowerPoint, but there's only 10 slides, and there's only one on movement, right? One slide on movement. You'd think there'd be like 15 on movement, and, you know, and 5 on gratitude, and probably about 7 on mindfulness. There's only one, right, on movement, because, I mean, I could talk about movement all day and what it means and what to do and this and that, but I think at the end of the day, we all know what we need to do, but I think really what we don't talk about the most is what we want to do, right? And that's how you be successful, if you will, with movement, is do the things that you want to do. Give yourself permission to go and do the things that you want to do for movement. Exercise doesn't have to be formal. You don't have to sit in a gym for 8 hours, you know, for 8 hours, for 2 hours a day. It just has to be movement. And I think we overcomplicate a lot of this, a lot of what we're doing for movement. And it's hard to realize that, because when it comes down to it, we just, yeah, I mean, I really do. I think when we stop moving, then obviously we get unhealthy. Like, I know that. But sometimes when we overcomplicate it at the same time, like 30 years ago, we didn't have to worry about movement because our bodies were just moving. Like, that's what we did. It was just, that was our work. Our work was our movement. Well, not anymore, right? Not anymore. So friendship. Yeah, today was a kind of a randomness, but I liked it. Surround yourself with people that make you expand, not contract. And that's true friendship. So if you're looking for a friend, if you're looking for somebody who would be there and make you expand every time, that's me. Okay? Get on my newsletter, jedcorbinius.com/newsletter, and put your name and email in, and you know you'll have a friend that will make you expand and never make you contract. And I can't say never because I'm not perfect, but how about 99.9% of the time, I won't make you contract. How about that? And as always, if you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. I believe in you. Now it's your turn to start believing in yourself. Stay safe out there. Be blessed. Bye for now.